so there is a lot of protein turnover. In an average person, amino acids already not in our diet, amino acids that we have incorporated into cellular constituents, when they're broken down, such proteins, when they're broken down, they provide about 15 of the energy needed. Okay, and on top of that, there are many useful byproducts of amino acid breakdown. So for energy, when they're broken down, a lot go into acetyl-CoA and eventually acetyl-CoA. So that's how they enter the TCA cycle. And many of the others are entering various steps of the TCA cycle or glycolysis, okay, to give you pyruvate. So the way we use them for energy is to generate intermediates that feed either into glycolysis or the TCA cycle. In addition, when amino acids are broken down and there are defects in this process, in the degradation enzymes, in the breakdown enzymes, these are some of the earliest examples of inborn errors of metabolism. I'm sure all of you have heard of phenylketonuria. It's on the label of many compounds, of many products that we buy, if those products contain phenylalanine. And for most of us that we can break down phenylalanine, that's not a problem. But if you cannot break down phenylalanine to generate, let's say, or convert to tyrosine, then you take phenylalanine out and make phenylpyruvic acid, and that leads to phenylketonuria, which could be lethal. So all the babies, all the newborns are tested, and then you try to avoid as much as possible eating amino acids with eating diets with rich in phenylalanine and other aromatic amino acids. Additional defects give rise to well-known diseases and syndromes. From tyrosine, it turns out we can make melanin. Okay, the default coloration of all tissues, for the most part, is white. So you have to make a color. It's an active process by depositing melanin and other compounds to generate various colors in various tissues, including hair, for example. And if that doesn't happen, then you get, because you have a block and you cannot generate melanin, you get albinism. Important side here is that from phenylalanine, as I said, we can do that. Okay, so we cannot make phenylalanine; we have to get in our diet. But all animals can make tyrosine by hydroxylating this aromatic ring of phenylalanine. So you stick the hydroxyl group, and that's very important because from tyrosine now you can make all these super important compounds. I'm sure you've heard dopamine, adrenaline. Okay, all these hormones. Okay, so very important. And perturbations of this process, of course, you get Parkinson's, for example. Right? So very important process. In addition, from let's say tryptophan breakdown, you can make all kinds of other things, and some of which we have seen, including NAD. Okay, so so it does serve other purposes. So when you break it, other than just energy, break it down and feed it into the TCA cycle, you can make all these useful things. And I will close with this slide, which you're not supposed to remember anything. In fact, that's the point. Tryptophan metabolism, it's so incredibly complex. We talked about the biosynthesis, so it's so complex, but it turns out many of the degradation products and how they interface with other metabolites we have discussed, if you put it all together, you generate this giant diagram, which is it's ridiculous in complexity, but it is hopefully make the point that yes, these aromatic amino acids play important roles, and they're touching many different pathways in the cell. And at this point, I think we'll close with everything I had to say about amino acids, biosynthesis, and breakdown. And we'll close here, and we'll have one more lecture on nucleotide synthesis and breakdown, and then we'll close everything with the last two lectures, which I think will be fun, hopefully, putting all the concepts together, coming together with diet and longevity mechanism. Okay, so we'll stop.